Good day, I'm Christian Legaspi. I'll be discussing working with quick filters. So what is working with quick filters? The items you see in each drop down table are called the filter criteria. Besides selecting specific criteria such as an account name, Excel also offers a set of quick filters that enables you to apply specific criteria. The quick filters you see depend on the data type of the field, but in each case you access them by pulling down a field's filter drop-down list. So we have three: text filters, number filters, date filters. Text filters. This command appears when you're working with a text field. It displays a submenu of filters that includes equal, does not equal, begins with, ends with, contains and does not contain. Second one is number filters. This contain this command appears when you're working with a numeric field. It displays a submenu of filters that includes equal, does not equal, greater than, less than, between, top 10, above average, and below average. Lastly is yung date filters. This command appears when you're working with a date field. It plays a submenu of filters that includes equal, before, after, between, tomorrow, today, next week, this month, last year, and many others. So, when you talk about text filters, mostly ito yun yung account name. Yung Brimson Furniture, ayan. And when you talk about number filters, wala dito. So, probably itong invoice amount, ayan yung number filters. And kapag date filters naman, itong date, paid or due date, ito, dyan lalabas. And itong nandito is yung date filters. And after mo i-click yung, when you talk about the amount number filters naman, ito yung lalabas. Kapag date filter, ito, last month, this month, next month, yung pipindutin mo, then lalabas na yung mga naka-indicate dito. You can create compound criteria by clicking N or bottoms and then entering another criterion in the bottom two drop-down tables. Use N when you want to play records that meet both criteria. Use OR when you want to display records that meet at least one of the two criteria. So for example, to display invoices with an amount less than $1,000 and greater than or equal to $10,000, you fill in the dialog box as shown in figure 13.10. Itong number filter na ito. Showing filtered records. When you need to redisplay records that have been filtered by a filter, use any of the following techniques. To display the entire table and remove the filter features, drop down arrows, deactivate the data filter command. And to display the entire table without removing the filter drop down arrows, choose data clear. And lastly, to remove the filter on a single field, display that field's filter drop-down list and choose the clear filter from field command, where field is the name of the field. So now, we will be talking about the text filters. So, pwede yung text filters yung employee and schedule. Pero dun tayo sa schedule. Dito is i-state niya kung sino-sino yung full-time and part-time. So, ayan yung mga part-timer and ayan naman yung full-timer. And kapag i-clear mo na, click the arrow na ulit and clear filter from schedule. Next one is yung number filter, monthly salary. Dito pwede mong makita kung saan yung less than, greater than, between, ganyan. So dito, less than 6,000 and greater than 5,000. And click OK. Papakita na niya kung sino-sino yung mga nandun. Less than 6,000 and greater than 5,000. And dito, between, greater than or equal to 7,000 and is less than or equal to 5,000. And ayun, walang lumabas. So, ibinalik ko na lang ulit dun sa less than 6,000 and greater than 5,000. Click OK, and if clear na, click the arrow again and clear filter from all the salary. The next one is yung date filter. Dito makikita mo kung kailan yung yesterday, next year, pwede yung last year, then current year, today, ganyan. Makikita mo dyan. Sunod is yung last month. And this year. And when you want to clear ulit, ayan, click the arrow and clear filter. That's all po.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our discussion on using complex criteria to filter data in Excel. We'll be exploring the advantages of this method over the standard filter function, examining how to set up a criteria range effectively, and working through practical examples. So let's get started. Using complex criteria to filter a table describes how to use complex criteria in Excel to filter data within a table, going beyond the capabilities of this basic filter feature. The standard filter function is insufficient for more intricate filtering needs. Limitation of standard filtering. The standard Excel filter cannot handle multi-conditional filtering such as invoice amounts falling within specific ranges. Example, greater than 100, less than 1,000, and greater than 10,000. Account numbers starting with particular prefixes, example prefix 1, prefix 5, and prefix 12. Days overdue exceeding a specific value, example, a value in particular cell. Complex criteria as a solution. To overcome these limitations, Excel offers complex criteria which involves setting up a criteria range. A criteria range consists of a top row containing the table's field names, this one, at least one blank row directly beneath the field names, this one, the blank here, blank space here. This is where the filtering criteria are entered. The criteria are inputted in the cells below the corresponding field names. Multiple rows or columns can be used to create compound criteria, allowing for highly specific filtering. The criteria range can be placed anywhere on the worksheet, but is commonly positioned a few rows above the table. Advantage of complex criteria. Using complex criteria offers two key advantages over the basic filter feature. Compound criteria, multiple rows and columns can be used to specify complex conditions for a single field. Number two is formula support. Formulas can be used within the criteria range to create computed criteria, enabling dynamic and sophisticated filtering. Example, this document illustrates an example using the accounts receivable table. These criteria are set to find all Brimson furniture invoices with values greater than or to equal to 1,000 and that are overdue. Days overdue field value must be greater than 0. This demonstrates the power and flexibility of complex criteria in achieving precise data filtering. Thank you all for participating in today's discussion on using complex criteria for Excel filtering. I hope you found the explanation and example helpful and gained a clearer understanding.
Today, I'll be showing you how to filter a table using a criteria range in Excel. So this technique is extremely useful when dealing with large data sets and needing to apply multiple filtering conditions at once. So, meron akong dalawang way meron yung tinatawag kong mano-mano. Or, meron siyang shortcut which is Control Shift at L. Pero sa Excel ko, ewan kung bakit hindi siya gumagana sa akin. Pero, ayun, para ma-filter yung ano. For example, meron akong example dito. So first, we have to ensure the data we're organizing in a table format with clear column headers. For example, let's say itong example ko, meron akong channel, product, date, and sales volume. Ayan. So, naka-filter na yan. Ngayon, so, kapag gumagana sa inyo yung shortcut na Control-Shift-L, lalabas ito. So, for example, you want to see or you want to like just check the, for example, store lang. Wait lang. For example, store lang. Ayan. Mag-filter siya kung ano lang yung gusto mong mahanap. And also, nag-a-apply din siya dito sa tatlo. For example, gusto ko lang makita is yung pants na blue. Kasi mostly yung sa list natin, sa log natin is sobrang haba niyan. And then, if you're going to start a business, kailangan mo siya. At mapapadali ang buhay mo ba? So, pants blue. Ayan. So, yung isa lang. Isa lang yan sa example ko. Ayan. So, ang ipapakita ko ngayon is advanced filter. Ngayon, so, okay. So, inolis ko lang yung filter para makita. Okay. So, punta lang tayo sa data dito. At hanapin natin yung advanced. Ngayon, lalabas ito. Ito lang din na mag-filter sa ano. May dalawang way. So, filter the list in place and copy to another location. Ngayon, for example, ang gusto kong maglilist lang tayo dito sa my header. Tapos dito. Ngayon, for example, gusto kong makita or gusto kong ma-filter or makita yung sa website. Okay. So, sa website tayo. Okay. Pila. Channel pala. Channel. Tapos, dito yung website. Okay. So, ngayon, so, ang gagawin natin, pumunta tayo na advance. Okay. So, lalabas to, no? May ganun. Ganun. Ayun, nakita ko na yung problema. Excuse me. Yung list range, bale, from C4 to F26. Ayan. So, sa criteria range natin, ito yung isa-select natin yung channel and website. Since ito yung hinahanap natin. And, ayan. Okay. So, yan, lalabas na siya dito. Kung ano hinahanap natin. Ganon din, mag-a-apply din siya sa iba't ibang channel. For example, store. Or dun sa isang channel natin na affiliate store. Ayan, nag-a-apply din siya sa product. Let's see. For example, product. Para papalitan din natin ito. Hindi siya channel. Product. And, syempre, pipili natin kung ilan yung nabenta nating shirt or product. For example, ang gusto kong hanapin kung ilang nabentang shirt yellow. Okay. Since parang kakaunti lang ata nalagay ko. Yellow. Ayan. Where's advanced? Okay, no. Ito lang. And then for criteria range, ito. And okay. Ayan, tatatlo lang. Merong isang sa affiliate store, site. Okay, site. And dalawa sa store. Ayun lang, nag apply din siya sa date and sa sales value. So, kung hindi gumana yung yung shortcut key natin na Control Shift L, pwede tayong mag-advanced filter gamit ito. Ayun lang.
Good day, everyone. Today, I will be discussing about entering computed criteria in Excel. So, this feature allows us to filter data dynamically using formulas instead of just using fixed values. By the end of this discussion, you will understand what computed criteria are, how to enter and use computed criteria, and how Excel selects those records based on logical expressions. So, let's dive into it. What is computed criteria? Computed criteria allows us to filter records using calculations rather than just specific numbers or text. So for example, as you can see in here, we already have this synthetic data and the table all set up. So let's say you want to show only the data or the records that are already paid. So you would normally go to this data and click the filter function and click the drop down menu and oh sorry yeah and exclude the blank section and you would click OK. So as we can see in here, it filtered out those that are not yet paid. So what's the problem here? Let's say what if you want to filter invoices where the payment was made after the due date. So basically, we want to show the records that are uh, paid late. So normal filters can calculate conditions dynamically. They just match exact values. So let us now proceed on how to enter computed criteria in Excel. So first, let me just remove the filter here. Now, as we can see in here, we have this compound criteria range. So let's just ignore this one since this was used on the previous discussion. So you must find an empty area in your worksheet. So we have two options. Either we put the formula here or our criteria range here at the top, or we can put it here beside our table. So if we put it in above, we will be using the advanced filtering function. This one. On the other hand, if we put it beside the table, we will be using just the normal filter function, which is this one. So for the sake of this discussion, we will do both of them. So we must add a column header name in our criteria range. So if you choose to put it above, you should take note that the column name or the column header name of the computed criteria range should be different from our table's header name. So let us move on. How do we enter a formula as the criteria that refers to the table? So for example, we want to show invoices where our date paid is equal to our due date. This means that it was paid at the same day of the due date. Now, how do we use this computed criteria range using the option as above? Again, we will be using this advanced filtering. Now, how do we do that? I'll just proceed on using the shortcut method, which is the Alt, A, and Q. Now, our advanced filter setting as shown, and we have these different areas. So our list range should be our table, including the table headers. and our criteria range should be this one, including the header name. Now let's just proceed on clicking the OK. And as we can see in here, it shows the record that the date paid is equal to due date, which is January 16, 2025 is equal to due date January 16, 2025. Anyway, previously I mentioned that the header name here should have a different header name from our table. So let us try and see what will happen if they have the same header name. I'll just remove the filter here. Oops. Let's just copy this one, account name, and paste it here. Oops. There we go. Let us do the advanced filtering again. Click within the table and Alt A Q. Now we have the same list range and criteria range. However, the header name on our criteria range are the same from one of these header name on our table. So let's see what will happen. Let's just click OK. So as we can see in here, our Excel got confused and didn't show any records at all. So you must take note of that or else you would face or encounter this error. Now let us proceed on using the second option, which is the formula beside our table. Same formula, just copy and paste it here. Now how do we use this option again? By using our basic filter function. So shortcut again, Alt A T. Now we will just need to exclude this and click OK. Now they have the same output and it's a matter of preference. Either you would choose this option or this one. So let us proceed on another example. Let's say we want to show only the invoices where the date paid is after the due date. That means the payment is late. So it's the same procedure, only different formula. Let's just change this equal sign into greater than and hit enter. And don't forget to change our header name. It should be different from our table. So let me change this one. Formula above. Now same procedure. Advanced filtering. Click OK. Now as we can see in here, it only shows those records that have late payments. We can also use advanced logical functions like AND, OR, and IF. So another example, uh, let's say we want to find invoice amount greater than or equal to 10,000 pesos or the due date is greater than 30 days. So actually we are just copying the logic of this compound criteria range that was previously discussed. So let's try it. For the sake of simplicity, we will just be using this option. So we must put equal sign and type the end function name and hit the open parenthesis. Now, as we can see in here, we can either put one or more logical arguments. Our first argument would be this account name. We want to show records that has an account name of Brimson Furniture. So let us put the cell within our table under our account name column, which is the A14. Now we will hit equal to so that Excel will read it as it should be this one. We put double quotation marks in here, open and close, so that the Excel knows that this is a string type of variable. So let's just type Brimson Furniture. Now, after we are finished on our first logical argument, if we want to proceed for the next logical argument, let's just hit the comma sign. Let me just put a space here so that our code will be readable. So for our second logical argument within our AND function, we will be using the OR function because it has the same logic as with the compound criteria range logic. Now, our first logical function within our OR function will be our D14, which is our invoice amount. Let's just copy the logic behind this. Greater than or equal to 10,000. Now, let us proceed for the logical argument number 2. It would be G14, our days overdue, and it should be greater than 30 days. Now, let us close this formula using closing parenthesis, 1, 2, and let us hit enter. Now, the output is true. Why? Because the account name is Brimson Furniture, which is true, and it should either be 10,000 pesos or 30 days overdue. The invoice amount is not 10,000, which is fine, but the days overdue is 66, which satisfied this formula. Now let us do the same procedure, which is the advanced filtering. Let's click OK. Now, as you can see in here, the account name is equal to Brimson Furniture, just like in our formula, and it should be either greater than or equal to 10,000 in our invoice amount or greater than 30 days. So again, why do we use computed criteria? Well, it is more flexible filtering compared to standard filters. It also automatically updates when data changes, and it can use formulas, logical operators, and external values. So that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I am Maria Rabella de Austria and I will be discussing the copying filtered data to a different range. So if you want to work with the filtered data separately, you can copy it or extract it to a new location. So to copy filtered data to a different range, we must follow the steps in this procedure. Step 1 is set up the criteria you want to use to filter the table. So, ito yung tinatawag nating criteria. Yung days overdue is that's greater than 0. Ito yung table natin. Example. Step 2 is if you want to copy only certain columns from the table, copy the appropriate field names to the range you'll be using for the copy. So, ganito yan. Kunwari, gusto nyong masama sa filter data yung account name natin. We must copy it and transfer to another sheet. Invoice number. Sasama natin siya. And invoice amount. And then yung days overdue natin. Ayusin lang natin. Yan. So, step 3 is choose data advanced to display the advanced filter dialog box. So, ganito yan. Ito yan. Diba nandyan? Home. Hanapin lang natin yung data, which is ito. Pinutin natin yung advanced, and yan na. Lumabas na yung advanced filter dialog box natin. So, step 4 is activate the copy to another location option. Ito. Yan, activate na natin. Step 5 is enter your table and criteria ranges if necessary. So, ganito yan. List range, ang ilalagay natin yung entire table natin. Kakopy lang natin. Yan. And then yung criteria range natin, which is the days overdue that is greater than 0. And then, Step 6 is use the copy to box to enter the reference for the copy location using the following guidelines. Note that in each case, you must select the cell or range in the same worksheet that contains the table. So, ganito yan. Copy to, and then, ito, gagawin yung ganyan. Ganyan yung gagawin nyo para ang makopy niya lang is yung account name, invoice number, invoice amount, and yung days overdue. Step 7 is click OK. Excel filters the table and copies the selected records to the location you specified. So, select OK. And then, there you have it. Andyan na yung mga records na gusto nating i-filter. So, tingnan nyo yung sa step 6. To copy the entire filtered table, enter a single cell. Ay, paano naman kung ganyan yung nagawa natin? We must add another sheet and gawin natin yung procedure. Copy location, list range, which is the entire table. Yan. And then criteria range. And then yung copy to. Kapag isang cell lang yung pinindot natin, and then mag-e-enter tayo, yan. Lumabas nga yung yung data na na filter na yung criteria natin, which is yung days overdue is greater than 0 lumabas. Pero ang pinagkaiba natin sa sheet 4 is ang mga hinahanap lang natin yung nalipat, hindi yung buong table na nandun pa rin yung account number, due date, and yung due date paid. Ganyan. Yan yung pagkakaiba. So, that's all. Reminder is, if you select a single cell in which to paste the entire filtered table, make sure that you won't be overwriting any data. Otherwise, Excel copies over the data without warning. So that's all. Thank you.
Referencing table specifiers. Referencing table specifiers means using specific names or labels to refer to parts of a table like columns or rows in a structured way. This is common in programs like Excel, where you can use structured references instead of traditional cell addresses. Here's what each specifier means. We have the hashtag all, hashtag data, hashtag headers, hashtag totals, and hashtag this row. So hashtag all refers to the entire table including headers, data, and totals. So here's the example. You just have to select everything in table 1, then put the hashtag all. Next is the hashtag data. It refers only to the data, excluding headers and totals. So our example here is you just have to select only the data rows in table 1, then put the hashtag data. So next naman is yung hashtag headers, which refers only to the column headers of the table. So ito yung ating example. Ilagay mo lang yung table 1, then hashtag headers. So it selects just the header row of the table 1. Next is yung hashtag totals, which refers only to the total row if enabled. For example, table 1, then lagay mo ulit hashtag totals. It selects just the total row of the table 1. Okay, for the last is the hashtag this row, which refers to the current row in a structured reference formula. Most table references starts with the table name. In the simplest case, you can just use the table name itself. For example, the following formula counts the numeric values in a table named Table 1. So here's our example. Next, if you want to reference a specific part of the table, you must enclose that reference in square brackets after the table name. For example, the following formula calculates the maximum data value in a table named sales. Okay, so wait lang. Ikat lang natin to. It's... Okay, lastly, Excel also generates column specifiers based on the text in the column headers. Each column specifier references the data in the column, so it doesn't include the column's header or total. For example, suppose you have a table named inventory and you want to calculate the sum of the values in the field name quantity on hand. So, ito yung formula natin doon. So, i-type lang natin yung sum. And then, ayan. Ganun lang siya kadali. So, using table specifiers and formulas makes working with data easier and more organized. Instead of using cell references like A1 or B2, table specifiers let you refer to columns and rows by name, making formulas clearer and easier to update. They also adjust automatically when you add or remove data, saving time and reducing errors. Learning to use table specifiers refers to create more efficient and accurate spreadsheets.
So good day everyone, I'm Alex Evans Onatek. I will be discussing today the entering table formulas. When you build a formula using structured referencing, Excel offers several tools that make it easy and accurate. First, note that, that table names are part of Excel's 2007's new formula autocomplete feature. So I have here the example. So we need to create a table. Just click the product name and click the insert table. Then here we have the A1 to F16. So we have now a table. So here, sinasabi po dito, yung table design is ito makikita yung table name. So here we have the examples in PPT, which is the table name is inventory. And click the enter button. So we have the table name in our Excel. This means that after you type the first few letters of the table name, you'll see the formula name in the autocomplete list, so you can select the name and press tab to add it to your formula. So mag-add lang po tayo dito ng column para maipakita po natin yung sinasabi dito sa PPT, which is the value. Press enter. Automatic na po siya masasali sa table po natin. Then, sinasabi dito na equal the table name and the bracket here. You can, when you then type the opening bracket, Access displays a list of the tables available specifiers, which is the product name, product code, quantity on hold, quantity on hand, standard cost, list price, and the value, as shown in figure 1317, which is yung ginawa po natin. The first few items are the field names, and the bottom 5 are the built-in specifiers. To add it to your formula, each time you type an open square bracket, Excel displays the specifier list. Ang sinasabi lang po dito is every time na i-click po natin yung table names na inventory, which is the inventory, and add the bracket. Papakita po niya dito yung mga specifier list na kailangan po natin. So we have here the formula, which is inventory bracket, another bracket. You click the bracket, then click the quantity on hand here, then multiply with inventory bracket, this row, another bracket, click the standard cost, then double bracket. So here we have the formula in solving the quantity on hand multiplied by standard cost. So click the enter button. So we simply get the answers in all the columns by entering the answer and get the formula in giving in PPT. So to sum up, mas madali po natin masisolve in entering table formulas if we have here the table and the table name. Kasi po, pag ilalagay po natin yung table name and the bracket, pwede natin piliin kung ano po isa-solve natin na specifier, which is the given name na the quantity on hold, quantity on hand. Ibibigay niya po yung choice na i-click lang po natin para mas padali. So here, the next lesson, Excel's table functions. To take your table analysis to a higher level, you can use Excel's table functions, which give you the following advantages. You can enter the function into any cell in the worksheet. Second, you can specify the range the functions use to perform its calculation. Last bullet is you can enter criteria or reference or criteria range to perform calculations on subsets of the table. Here, about table function. To illustrate the table functions, consider an example. For example, if you want to calculate the sum of a table fields, you can enter sum or of the range and Excel produces the result. If you want to sum up only a subset of the field, you must specify as arguments the particular cells used. So we have here the example. I give you an example. I-click po natin which kahit dito po and click the sum. Please try. Then click enter. So yun, kahit saan po nating table is solve, yung table function is makukuha po natin yung answer. Example, here, value. So you come up with the answer of 355.50. That's all. Thank you.